Thailand. I will say that the Prime Minister's English is much better than my Thai. But I want to say thank you so much, Prime Minister, for your very warm welcome, your generous words, and the sense of partnership that you bring to our work today. As you indicated, Asia is my first foreign trip since our election in the United States, and Thailand is my first stop. And this is no accident. As I've said many times, the United States is and always will be a Pacific nation. As the fastest growing region in the world, the Asia Pacific will shape so much of our security and prosperity in the century ahead, and it is critical to creating jobs and opportunity for the American people. And that's why I've made restoring American engagement in this region a top priority as president. And the cornerstone of our strategy is our strong and enduring treaty alliances, which includes our alliance with Thailand. Thailand is America's oldest friend in Asia. Next year will mark 180 years of diplomatic relations. We've been treaty allies committed to our common defense for nearly 60 years. Our men and women in uniform have stood together, and they've bled together. Our business people and our entrepreneurs work together to create jobs for both of our peoples. Our diplomats, development experts, researchers, and student partners every day work together so that our citizens and the people across this region can live in peace and security and dignity. Most recently, people of Thailand have worked to restore and strengthen your own democracy, and we are very admiring of the efforts that have been made. Earlier today, I had the great honor of having an audience before His Majesty the King, a leader of wisdom and dignity who embodies the identity and unity of this nation. And today, I'm proud to stand beside the democratically elected leader of Thailand and to reaffirm the importance of upholding democracy, governance, rule of law, and universal human rights, all of which I know, Madam Prime Minister, that you believe in very deeply. When we met in Bali last year, the Prime Minister and I discussed how we could deepen and broaden the partnership between our countries. And with this visit, I'm pleased that we've agreed to a series of efforts that revitalize our alliance to meet the challenges and opportunities of our time. First, we're deepening our security cooperation. Our militaries are already trained and exercised together, and we're already close partners in preventing terrorism and combating narco trafficking. Now we have a new, broader vision for our alliance. We're going to improve the ability of our militaries to operate together. We'll help Thai forces assume even greater responsibilities in the region, from maritime security to disaster relief to preventing piracy. I especially want to commend Thailand for joining the Proliferation Security Initiative that prevents the spread of weapons of mass destruction. And taken together, these steps advance our shared vision of a secure and peaceful Asia-Pacific where the rights and responsibilities of all nations are upheld. Second, we're taking new steps to expand trade and investment. The United States is already one of Thailand's biggest trading partners, and we're already one of the biggest investors in Thailand. But we believe we can do even more. So we agreed to reconvene our Trade and Investment Council to explore new ways that our companies and our entrepreneurs can do business together. We'll continue to work with our APEC partners to reduce barriers and move toward a seamless regional economy. And we'll work together as Thailand begins to lay the groundwork for joining high-standard trade agreements such as the Trans-Pacific Partnership. All of this will advance our vision of a region where trade is free and fair, and all nations play by the rules. Third, on this 50th anniversary of the Peace Corps in Thailand, we're moving ahead with new partnerships to promote development and human dignity. We'll focus on public health, developing a vaccine for HIV/AIDS, and ensuring that development is sustainable, especially in regions along the Mekong River. I recently announced new steps that the United States is taking to confront the scourge of human trafficking, modern slavery. Thailand is also taking new steps to address this challenge, including measures to better protect and empower women and girls. And I'm very pleased to see the leadership that the Prime Minister has taken on what I think we all agree is a very important issue. And given Thailand's role as an emerging donor country, I'm very pleased that our two nations will be working more closely to promote development in other countries, including fighting malaria along the Thai-Burma border. We also welcome, by the way, the leadership that Thailand has taken in protecting wildlife around the world. It's something that Thailand should be very proud of. Finally, we discussed a range of regional challenges. Thailand has supported the cause of democracy in Burma, protecting dissidents, hosting refugees, and promoting reform. I very much appreciate the Prime Minister's insights as I prepare to visit Burma tomorrow. As a founding member of ASEAN, Thailand will play an important role in our meetings in Cambodia. And I especially want to thank our Thai friends for being so supportive of our role in the East Asia Summit, which should be the premier forum for discussing regional challenges, including maritime security. So, once again, Madam Prime Minister, I want to thank you for your hospitality and your partnership. Because of the progress that we've made today, I think we've put the U.S.-Thai alliance on an even footing for many years to come. And tonight I look forward to celebrating the bonds of friendship between our peoples and also enjoying some Thai food, which is one of my favorites. So thank you very much. Hopefully,
thank you very much, Mr. President. And now we will take a few questions from the floor. I would ask, if I have not already mentioned so, to ask you to identify your name and affiliation. We have 4 questions. And so the first question is to the Thai media. So could I have the first question, please?
Good evening. I'm Jeremiah, representing a commercial group, local newspaper in Thailand. This question goes to both of you, Mr. President and Mr. Prime Minister. All right, you both talked about democracy in Thailand, but my question is this: are you both satisfied with how democracy is working in the situation of democracy right now in Thailand? I'm talking about the situation that those who are responsible for 2010 crackdown is still not pursued by the courts, and we still have these laws that criminalize any criticism against the king very harshly, including murder citizenship. We have many political prisoners and recorded human rights abuse. I mean, in your opinion, how do you call this situation satisfied? And Mr. President, which Thai cuisine dish is your favorite again? Thank you, sir.
First.
Let me answer the question on democracy today. I think the destination of us is the stability of democracy. Because democracy, we believe that it will be fundamental for economic growth in the future. So the destination to go with that vision is that the vision of reconciliation. But for Thailand's situation, I think we will stick with the principle of true democracy by using the apply of the rule of law and due process, and make sure that all the things will be equal and fair basis. And in Thailand also we aim for right to see the national reconciliation. So our position will be with the passion and with the peaceful way and using the democracy way will be the best to solve the problem. Thank you.
well, let me just say, first of all, that democracy is not something that is static. It's something that we constantly have to work on. The United States has the oldest democracy in the world, but we constantly have to, as citizens, work to make sure that it is working to include everybody, to make sure that the freedoms that are in our Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom of worship, that those are practiced and observed, and so the work of democracy never stops. And I think that what you're seeing here in Thailand is a democratically elected prime minister who is committed to democracy, committed to rule of law, committed to freedom of speech, in the press, and assembly. But obviously, what's true in Thailand, as is true in America, is that all citizens have to remain vigilant, and there's always improvements to be made. And I very much congratulate the Prime Minister on her commitment to democracy. And I know that many of the reforms that she continues to be interested in are ones that will strengthen democracy even further in Thailand, and will serve as a good example for the region as a whole. In terms of Thai cuisine, I like it all. And I've looked over the menu for this evening's dinner, and it looks very good. Which is good because I'm also very hungry. So I think I saved my appetite, and I'm looking forward to having some authentic Thai food.
Thank you very much. The second question comes from the U.S. media. I'd like to call out the Washington Post, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Prime Minister. Thank you for hosting us with the American media as well as the rest of the President's delegation. Mr. President, you will make history tomorrow as the first U.S. President to visit Burma. But human rights activists have warned that your trip is premature, given the escalating ethnic violence that has left hundreds dead and up to 100,000 people displaced in that country. Your own NSC Director for Human Rights said the other day that people are, quote, living in fear and terror. Why are you moving so quickly to endorse the Burmese leadership and reward them with a personal visit? And given some of the recent setbacks to the democratic movements in the Middle East, why are you so confident that Burma will continue down the path of reform? Madam Prime Minister as well, as a U.S. ally and a neighbor of Myanmar or Burma, are you satisfied that President Thein is doing enough to stop the ethnic violence and protect human rights there? Do you believe President Obama's visit is premature or appropriately timed?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to recognize, David, this is not an endorsement of the Burmese government. This is an acknowledgement that there is a process underway inside that country that even a year and a half, 2 years ago, nobody foresaw. President Thein is taking steps that move us in a better direction. You have Aung San Suu Kyi, now an elected member of Parliament. You've seen political prisoners released. There is an articulated commitment to further political reform. But I don't think anybody's under any illusion that